If you're struggling to get legal interviews, the problem might be that you are focusing too much on academic qualifications and not demonstrating those really important skills that legal interviewers are looking for. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through 4 key skills that legal employers look for during their application process and give you some advice on how to demonstrate them in different ways so that you can land that interview and get that job in the legal industry that you deserve. Without further ado, let's jump into skill number 1, which is going to be communication. Now, unlike TV portrayal, getting a legal job is not about your understanding of complex language, it's actually about your ability to translate and convey these complex legal ideas to clients in an effective and clear manner. Now, the best way to demonstrate to employers that you have this skill starts with your CV, really, and included within this are the basics. Make sure your spelling, punctuation, and grammar is 100% accurate. Beyond this, you need to consider how your language is going to take a job, explain what you did, explain the lessons you have learnt during your employment, and apply them in such a way as to demonstrate that you know what you have learned and how it is going to make you a good lawyer in the future. I know myself, I like to tailor my CVs particularly to the firm's character and the industry that they specialize in, so I am really being clear in the way in which I expect to approach this new role and the skills and lessons I have learned from previous roles that I will bring forward with me into the future. Now, the second point I want you to consider is commercial awareness. Now, commercial awareness, despite what most people think, is not about learning buzzwords and memorizing headlines of papers or perhaps listening to the Financial Times news briefing every morning, which is, of course, still nice to do anyway. Commercial awareness is actually specifically about understanding how legal advice fits into the broader scheme of the business that you are working with. Now, let's bring this to life a little bit more. Imagine you are working with a client, working on some documentation for them for a deadline in 2 weeks' time. However, you know that in 10 days' time, there is going to be an update in legal briefing from the government that is going to affect this documentation should you not meet that deadline. Here is an example of how your knowledge and understanding of your expert area and the specifics of it in relation to policy, trends, and so on and so forth can directly add value to your clients. The way you demonstrate this is in your CV by linking your experience to business outcomes and being really specific in where this fits in terms of broader industry trends and happenings going on, or perhaps in relation to competitors. Moving on now to point number 3, which is organization and attention to detail. Now, whilst these might again seem like fairly basic things, they do communicate what you are like as a personal and a professional now and how you are going to be like in the future. If, for example, you stick to wishy-washy sayings like you have an attention to detail, you'll get nowhere. You need to be way more specific. What systems do you apply during your working days and weeks that make you more efficient, and in what ways do they do that? Don't just say something, demonstrate it in as much granular detail as possible without going on too much. And then the fourth thing is initiative and long-term commitment. Investing in training legal staff is really expensive, so law firms, whatever they are, boutique, international or local, they are looking for you to have a long-term commitment to the career so they get that return on their investment in you. Talk about both things you have done in relation to your studies. What is your work ethic like? Are you a high attainer? Are you good with exams? What hard evidence do you have to demonstrate these points? But also things that you did outside of your studies. Have you got some legal experience volunteering or in admin work? Have you taken some CPD that might be directly relevant to the role that you are applying for? Or perhaps there's an example of you helping somebody out with something that resulted in a great outcome and really demonstrates what you are like as a person. Because at the end of the day, interviewers have to be confident that they will get on with you, as well as confident in the fact that you are committed to becoming an excellent lawyer in the long term and to that long-term growth and continuing professional development. Now, if you're currently doing a legal degree, or you're considering a conversion, or maybe you're at secondary school thinking about becoming a lawyer, or you're even considering a career change to law from a different sector, then it may be worth you checking out the other link in our description, which links to a video on the SILEX qualification. Now, the SILEX qualification is an alternate route into the legal industry from the traditional training contract route, and what it means is that you undertake part-time study for 2 years, and you'll sit a number of exams with some exemptions depending on whether you have a degree or not, and as well as your part-time study, you get the opportunity to take part in part-time work experience, which you will be paid for, so you avoid that highly debt leveraged traditional route, and you end up after 2 years in a specialized position as a qualified lawyer with the same practice rights. SILEX are providing a really excellent alternative route into the legal industry, so it definitely is worth you checking that out in the description. And apart from that, we'd like to thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.